Poesia, poetry, Greek meaning, poesia. I create, yo creo, conveying love, at times some anger, lyrical yet magical methods of manifestations. I love it. A way of remembering, holding on to memory, preservation is called poetry. Predating literacy in many languages, 9 elements of poetry, alliteration, assonance, consonants, figurative language, poetry. I love the imagery. Rhyme with me, feeling the rhythm, sometimes bongos, but today cover me. I'm going in with drums and violins. I'm Dr. Poetry, I dancer while I write a stanza, choosing wisely my tone, bailando el son, escuchando la clave. Poetry, feeling the recentering rapidly to the movement of my pen as I express my thoughts through poem. What many refer to poetry, but was Latin really derived from the Romans? Negative, it's from the Phoenicians. La chingue realmente no derivó de los romanos. After all, aren't we all hermanas y hermanos? Honors to all languages as we keep creating. We may all be speaking, but are we really communicating? I see you over there playing investigator all in my hair, pero yo no me ha muerto para que me estén velando. Entiendo lo que estoy falando, mi filia. Fica con calma, nene. No fica así, no. No fica con rabia, no. No one is shaming you for speaking different languages that connect us all. There's always truth in the lie, and I choose to rely on my frequency. But for me, it's the ability to express my thoughts in several languages. After all, the point of it all is to connect and not disconnect. Protection for the connection. Embrace my affection. In poética dieri, soy doctora poesía, soy la doctora poesial. ¿A qué aconteció como lengua latina? Ella es extinta. What happened to the Latin language? Is it extinct? Is it dead? Está muerto. Que un herculano inició de latín. ¿El dónde veo? ¿De dónde vino? Phoenician derived, said the Romanos. So they added CIC to create a romantic language of French, Romanian, Spanish, and Portuguese. There's always truth in a lie, and I choose to rely on my frequency to embrace all dialects, accents that beautifully remind us of our diversified ancestry. Poesia sounds like a lot, right? I love it. Speaking Latin, Portuguese, and Spanish, but where did it come from? Phoenician. No one is shaming you for speaking different languages. Ninguém tá falando mentira, meu filho. Fica com calma, neném. Da mão não fica assim, não. There's always truth in the lie, and I choose to rely on my frequency. Frequency. Ninguém me está aborgando você por falar diferente. A linguagem que nos conecta a todos. Yo amo poesía con toda mi alma. Poesía. Feel free to hate on me. I'm Dr. Poetry, and I love poetry.
I'm gonna speak of a noble being, one that doesn't get any press, one that doesn't get movie script or historical recognition. I'm speaking of none other than the noble prophet, Drew Ali. He brought back universal principles to uplift all of humanity. Principles like love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. He restored the national descent of a lost nation. Simply stating, declare your nationality. Take these things and save yourself.
Islam to the more, Islam to the more. Noble Drew Ali, the man with the plan, the plan, the plan, the plan. We honor his name for all he did to break the chains of shame. No shame, no shame. Noble Drew Ali, a man with great vision. He brought us truth, divine precision. He showed us the way through the darkest night. Noble Drew Ali, our guiding light. He fought for our rights and our dignity. He paved the way for us to break free. Noble Drew Ali, we honor your name. Noble Drew Ali, we honor your name, a man with great vision, divine precision, We honor your name, We learn the most important principles of love, of truth, peace, freedom, and justice. You taught us about our birthright to the land. You aim to uplift, to empower, to inspire. Your legacy lives on. I am Dr. Poetry, with the Honorable Dr. Bay. What is word magic? The art of using words, symbols, and sounds to cast spells that influence perception and reality. The concept carry hidden meanings and legal implications beyond every use. You know this. Spell. Talk about it. Look at the word spelling. Look at the word spell. Spell, casting influence through words. Spelling, the act of arranging letters to form words, which spells reality. Right? Think about it. And I just want you guys to think about this really quick. I don't want anyone, well, not really quick. I want you to take the time. This is going to be just I'm touching on a few things so that when the show is over, right? The whole Hear Me Out Poetry Live is over, and you have some time on your hands. I really want you to look into this. Don't take it from me. Don't take it from Pao Chang. You know, he wrote Word Magic, The Powers and Occult Definition of Words, Born Again. He has another one. There's so much going on here. But I encourage everyone to just look over what I'm saying today. All right? And a good example of what spell magic looks like when you think about mourning versus mourning. We think about grief, sorrow, right? Oh, she's mourning the death of her father, or the beginning of the day. In Spanish, we say buenos dias, good day. Good day, right? We don't think about mourning, grief, sorrow. We don't think about those things when we're telling you to have a great day. Yet, word magic, similar sounds, different meanings. Is it used to confuse or manipulate? These are the questions that I want you to sit with. Sit with it. Let it marinate a little bit. Person. Well, I've always believed that a person is it's almost like a human, right? A person. Defined legally as a corporation or entity. It's not necessarily a living man or a woman. Look that up. Black Law's Dictionary. Look it all up. Remember, this is a little drive-through here. Let's talk about government. Let's get the word breakdown. Govern means to control. Ment means the mind. What's the meaning? Control the mind? That's what the government, oh, wow. I have a question. So is the government controlling the mind? These are questions. Let's go on. Color of law. But lack true legal authority. We're going to talk about lawful, legal versus lawful in a second. I need you guys to look at this. Think about it. Just think about it. Because we got to think about these things. Before we can dive into anything else, I want to kind of like get our feet wet for a little bit. This is what helps me. Remember, the more in me as I study, it's not about just me knowing things. I am studying with you. Get that, please. Court and bench. Now, the first time I heard court and bench, I remember I was a kid on the basketball team. I was benched and I was playing basketball in a basketball court. Court, an arena of commerce and contracts. Now, what's that about? Bench, rooted in bank, symbolizing financial control. So, is the court system a game? Because that means, to me, when I started reading about this, I said, wait a minute. So the judges, who's the judge? The referee? Who's the attorney? Who's the lawyer? We got to think about that. We got to think about that. And I told you guys, come a little prepared, take a couple of notes. When you're bored, look it in. When you're not bored, you really want to think about this. You really want to know what I'm talking about. You really want to know why people are using this terminology about word magic. Then I encourage you to write this down. If you're recording this, if you want to replay it, go right ahead. Feel free. Because I'm not the only one studying. This is for all of us. Birth versus birth. Wow. Now, this one got me really. Entry to life. The birth of Isabella Bay. Then we have birth. Docking of a ship. Docking of a ship. And what are you ever seen the merchants, like when they're doing the import and export, they always have like a little paper with them that tells them what's being shipped in and what's shipped out, right? What is that called? We're not going to get into that. That's your homework. You guys bring that back. Think about birth certificates, because the way birth is docking of a ship, but then we have birth, entry to life. So when we were given birth certificates. What is that, like an inventory? What do we call that? Well, it's used metaphorically in maritime law for human beings, right? That's why they call it the birth canal. When we're all right, I'm not laughing. This is out of just, like when I read this over and over, now you understand why I write such poetry sometimes. A little weird, but weird is good. Weird means you have the power, right? The ability to control your destination. So I'm not going to spend too much time on that. Let's keep going. Legal versus lawful. When I tell you I had the worst case of cognitive dissonance when I saw this, and I have a master's in criminology, a bachelor's in criminal justice administration, law enforcement for over 17 years. Isn't this embarrassing? Legal rules. They're created by governments, statutes, codes, acts, all these different things that are created. Policies. Policy enforcer. Then we have lawful. Rooted in natural law, morality, and sovereignty. Got to think about that. We got to think about that. Now, again, this is not meant for me to sit here and do a whole lesson plan. No, this is for me to get your mind thinking. You think for yourself. Let's reclaim the reins of our own mind right now. Because this is not made up. But let's keep going. Sovereign. Sovereign. Definition. Let's think about what sovereign means. What is sovereign? A free individual, not subject to external authority. No. Self-governing, not controlled, not being controlled, not having the government control your mind. This is self-governing under natural law. I'm going to get into all of this later on, but I'm trying to take baby steps because I know when I first started, I dived in deep and it took me a minute. It's still taking me a minute. Okay. A free individual, not subject to external authority. Like, think about what that means. What is word magic? What is word magic, y'all? Just think about that. So let's talk about legal versus lawful. I want to talk about that again. I really want to dive in. So legal, right? Actions or rules that are sanctioned by written law, statutes, regulations, judicial precedents. Let's talk about that. So the focus, the form of the law, the letter of the law. I'll put an example here. A tax loophole may be legal because it is allowed by statute, even if it feels unfair or exploitive. A tax loophole, may be legal because it is allowed by statute, even if it feels unfair or exploitative, right? Excuse me. But where's the origin? Where's this coming from? From Latin legalis, meaning pertaining to law. It's pertaining to law. It's not law, it's pertaining to law. La ley in Spanish, but I don't want to confuse you guys. Let's go. So then what's lawful? Actions that are in accordance with natural law, morality, or ethical principles. Ethical principles. Honest to the universal principles. Love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. But let's focus. What is the focus here? The substance or spirit of the law, justice, and fairness. An example. Civil disobedience may be unlawful in a legal sense, but many argue it is lawful in the higher moral sense because it aligns with justice. The words. And this is why it's important, because let's just do a little quick recap. Just a little quick recap, because I need everyone to understand these things, right? So if what we're saying that we have to know who we are, people, persons, we often see the Constitution, we the people. Then we talk about things like if we go to court, what's going on in the court? Why is the court the judicial? And that's another word. The judicial. Why is it being compared? Why would they use the word court? Why would we have two words? Why would we use that? We have to think about what is going on. Why would the word government mean to control your mind? What are the intentions behind everything? This is not to worry. This is not to go crazy, go out there and start thinking that the world is, this is something little by little. There's a tactic that we use in the police department, that it's about when you are about to go into an area and you have to clear it to make sure that your life is not in danger and the person's not gonna, attack you. So you do peeky book, you go in and you look out, or you kind of cut the pie. This is something I was trained with the marshals. And you have to kind of like hit the corner. So you kind of like going in the corner, until you get like a visual and you come back in because you're defending yourself, you're covering yourself. I feel like that's what's happening here. I feel like we got to do a peekaboo while we're studying. You got to be careful when you're reading this. Try to be in a good spirit. Do not go into rushing into words without fully understanding them. I just want you guys to take your time. This is something that's important for all of us, especially for you. I'm going to leave you with this piece that I wrote. It's called Accountability. It's a very important piece for me. and I hope you enjoy it. Dr. Poetry, Isabella Bay. Shout out to all of y'all. Have a great one. And I truly, truly, truly hope you enjoy this piece. I know you would. It helped me understand the process as I'm processing, as I study. The more in me as I study. Shout out to y'all. Nationality is the order of the day. At least that's what I know. And I often hear my baby Doc Bay say, the mirror is in your face. Therefore, with reluctancy, at first and not willingly, I face the reality. And what does that even look like? It looks like me taking full accountability, no longer existing in fallacy. I mean, how am I supposed to proclaim my nationality if I didn't even notice how I was hidden in the shadows? You know, my strong man identity. You see, exiting the money game matrix, me, my three, connecting to the my three. I know I want to live in my living natural me operating in private me, not the public straw man me, the one that surrendered all her rights for some crumbs called privilege. I signed the nature of me, participating, pledging my life to function as a debtor when I was really the credit of dishonoring my ancestors for artificial constructs called corporations for a fraudulent nation. The dead cannot bury the dead. The fact that all of this has been in society for 100 years, keeping me distracted in many forms of entertainment, and I'm not paying attention. Shit, ignorance of the law is no excuse. I'm not exempt. There's no justification yet. I chose to believe the banksters that created the educational systems, calling me a bastard with a just over broke mentality. The JOB, it's all about commerce. But I have to change my mindset first. So I need to study. Understanding what proclamation truly means to me. After my declaration, me, the living life, natural me who never functioned in this society, there's no place for me in this society. And I'm not asking you or anyone for permission. This is my proclamation. I'm communicating unambiguously, putting this on public record, standing through affidavit, talking to the system, standing on law, no longer in dishonor but in honor, placing a lien on my damn straw man. Any liabilities or suits that are addressing me, take the charge of this dead man's straw man and transfer that debt to my unlimited credit. Legal versus lawful. It's awful to see how I was played and manipulated with the legalese. Here's to taking accountability while I begin the process of proclaiming my nationality. I'm Dr. Poetry.
I just wanna dance with somebody. Gold and white Versace fit with the sneakers to match. Airline straight, but I gotta have my Brooklyn hat. Long week, 12-hour shifts, so you won't catch me in this party acting all stiff. I'm on the dance floor, drink in hand. I heard CHEEZCAKE is back in demand. In that case, I'm with the ladies, can't withstand. She make that booty bubble, and I forget all my trouble. I just wanna dance with somebody. We passionate, she drinking from my bottle, she ain't passing it. It's all good, cause I'm focused on that booty and lashing it. By the end of the night, I hope I splash in it. I just wanna dance with somebody.
Chiz, I'm chilling.
Dipping, sipping on the essence of his soulful rhythm. In the baseline breath on my skin, we're caught up in a lustful current. No end, no begin. Hands tracing galaxies down my spine. Eyes saying everything without a single line. Body speaks fluent in the language of
Costa has been here. Shout out to Costa Apache. Y'all, welcome to Hear Me Out Poetry Live, y'all. Boo, boo, boo,
We
boo,
here.
boo, boo. I love it.
Hello.
It's sister season to be jolly, y'all. Sister seasons to be jolly. Ooh, I
Ho,
love
ho,
it.
ho.
What's going on, Mr. Moore? BETTA, CHIZZ.
What's
How you
happening?
doing? What's
Hey,
happening with you?
Chris Kringling, Chris cooking in and all that type of jazz. You know what I mean? Sprinkle, sprinkle. Nah, I'm just
I like that.
I like it.
getting in the season of things, right? Yeah.
The season, right? You gotta
It's in
stop.
the
Everybody's
seasons.
shopping. Yeah.
Yeah.
You drinking coquito though? A little coquito?
No,
A little something,
I
little
wish.
eggnog. What's up,
no
Miss
mas.
CHEEZCAKE?
Hey, hey. How is everybody?
Oh man, I'm
Good,
telling you,
good.
we want to relax, right?
Absolutely.
Just
Absolutely.
the season, right? We're getting it. We're preparing for the cocoon. We're gonna get out of that autumn season. We're gonna go into the cocoon of the winter solstice, and I'm feeling it.
You feeling it?
Let's go.
Yes.
Are you cuddling up there with your blanket, Miss Cheesecake, and watching TV? Or are we listening to music, deck the halls, and just move the furniture?
Furniture, we're doing everything. Covering up with
Everything,
the
right?
blanket. Yes, 'tis the season.
Chizzy, I'm just telling you, we've had so much. Like when I say, first of all, big shout out to Coast the Apache, and you know he's taking care of business. We gotta let him take care of business because
yes.
you know Christmas shopping is so horrible these days. Are you guys like more internet shoppers or like you actually go to the store and shop?
Mixture. I'm a
Mixture, but I prefer more online because I can't deal with people going cuckoo.
Yeah.
Like out there, I'm just like, what? I get overwhelmed.
It worries me though, y'all. Like the sniffles, like everybody's coughing and stuff. So I'm kind of like, you know,
Definitely.
Yep.
For sure.
The Lysol real quick.
Lysol, wipes, you gotta have it.
right?
Sanitizer.
Exactly.
Well, where you have been up to? Because I know we have a lot of music going on and poetry with all of y'all. All three of y'all and Coast the Apache. That guys, listeners, good to see all of you. Welcome to Hear Me Out Poetry Live. I am Dr. Poetry with my beautiful family here. We got Miss Cheesecake, we got Mr. More Better CHIZZ, and Cosmic Oracle. And you know, they've been working. They've been really cooking up a storm. Like Miss Cheesecake has her brand. Listen, I love your album. Okay. And I don't say this, y'all, because they're my family, they're my peeps. No. When I was like cleaning and organizing, I was listening to Miss Cheesecake's album, Layers of Love. It's available on all platforms, just like Cosmic Oracle's album, just like her new single. Okay. Listen, she is doing her thing. I enjoyed it. When I say this, it's because I was calm, right? But then I didn't know if I wanted to be like sexy. And then it was like made me think. Especially your singing. You went on there, you sang a little bit. I'm like, okay.
I know, Miss Cheesecake. Ooh.
Tell us about a little bit about that before we go in. What's your favorite track from that one? What's your favorite from Layers of Love?
Now, of course, I love them all, but I gotta say, Take Me is my favorite.
Yeah. And why is that? Why is that?
It's me tapping into that more romantic side of myself, and I'm just like offering myself, like I want you to see me for who I am. Like bring that energy, apply that pressure, because I'm right here. What's up?
Yay!
Let's go.
Let's go.
And so, yeah, and so let me ask you about that though, Miss Cheesecake. And I'm sure Chiz may want to know, like, how do you come up with the titles for your music, like for your poetry? Because I always want to know about that. Like, I think it was you, Chiz, who asked that the other day. Like, how do we come up? You know, inquiring minds want to know. Take me.
That was a good one.
Yeah,
that's a good one though. Yeah.
I didn't have a title originally. I just started writing, and then like once I started, you know, getting in depth with the emotions that were tied into it, I saw the repetition of saying "take me," like I'm offering myself. So I'm like, "Yep, that's it. That's what this is called."
Okay.
Feeling that's, you know, I pay attention to what I'm writing. I might have a title for some. You're like, okay, I'm gonna call it this, and then just go with whatever it is, and that's how we came with that one. Take Me.
And I love your album cover. You're so beautiful. I love this. First of all, every time I listen to you, I get hungry, and I'm not gonna say I get horny, but we're getting close because you don't know. Wow, I'm just really being out for it. No, but guys, it's one of those things that puts you in the mood. You want a glass of wine. You want a slice of cheesecake. You want to start thinking about the stuff that you're saying. You really, it's beautiful, and I think each and every one of us have that. This is why we're family, and you'll hear me. You guys will get what I'm saying, what I'm actually telling you, because when you hear Cosmic and you hear More Better CHIZZ as well, and you hear Coast, because he makes me want to dance. Like that was, and then shout out to Miss Cheesecake and Cosmic Oracle on that. You guys did, ooh, I was like, you know, and then it just makes you want to dance. I can't wait for when we all get together. Talk to me, CHIZZ. What you think about that? About the dance track?
Look, it's lit from the beginning. You guys got to check it out. Shout out to Coach Brody, did his thing. Drizzle, you've done your thing once again.
We did that. Yes, we did.
But you know, I'll be cooking up, you know, a little something too. Izzy, yes, things have been cooking and sizzling and grizzling. Soul fam.
I'm looking forward about that.
Hey, you know, the passion of it all. You know what I mean? We got, you know, passion for passion. You know,
yes.
You guys got to check it out.
And I'm looking forward to that. I'm gonna go there in a minute. I'm gonna go with it. I just wanted to go with Miss Cheesecake first, but we're definitely gonna tap into passion for passion real quick, because we got so much in store for y'all. I'm not kidding. I am not kidding. All right, Cosmic, I gotta ask you a question though. So, what do you think about Miss Cheesecake's album?
Like, I love this album. Is phenomenal. A pure reflection of the Sade of poetry.
Yes.
Like I was when I first listened to her, I'm like, there she is, Miss Sade of poetry. So
Sade of poetry.
Every piece on the album is fantastic. And I'm like you, like I think it was last weekend. I was like, I get the pool. I'm like, I need to listen to something, you know, that's more calm and soothing. And I said, Miss Cheesecake. And I got on Apple and I was blazing all through the apartment. So yes, love the album. Miss Cheesecake, the drizzle is on fire.
That's it right there. I couldn't say it better than what she just said, because it's the truth. And Miss Cheesecake, real quick, I want to tell you real quick, Miss Cheesecake, so that you know, I have the playlist for Hear Me Out Poetry, right? And it was so funny because I was in the shower and I had it playing, and it got stuck on the connection, right? It was just kept on playing, and it kept on playing, and the more I heard it, the more I was like, girl, and I was in there. So, and then I also heard Take Me. Listen to me, Miss Cheesecake. I know you have a lot to talk about, but I know this show doesn't give us enough time to talk about all of this. Well, we're gonna go right into this piece right now, because when I say I love it, y'all. I'm not kidding, y'all. It's beautiful, and it's just what it is. Hold on 1 second. I can't hear it. Y'all already know how it is over here. What's going on? What's happening? I love it. Can you guys hear it? No. Here we go.
Not yet.
No. There we go.
I just want you to take me. Will you do that for me? Just take me. I'll explain to you what I mean by that. Take me in your arms and never let me go. Wrap your shield around me, keep the rain out and protect my soul. Take my hand, dance with me real slow until I'm smiling with glee and floating heavenly with that afterglow. Just take me, never forsake me, and definitely don't try to break me. Because I'm here to replenish everything you pour. Go through the fields and mazes of my heart as I guide you on this tour. I just want to feel your love floating high in the sky, like a dove soaring freely in the skies above as you stare deeply into my eyes and give me the most beautiful glance and continuous flow of romance. Take me into your heart and hold me with elegance and grace. Take your time with me, make love to my essence. It's never been a race. Just continue doing what you do to me, mentally, physically, and spiritually at the same pace. and other painful memories you had to endure, I'll try to erase. Your heart and love is very encapsulating. Your essence and energy is intoxicating. I just want to get drunk off you. Let me enjoy this high as I rise into the skies, and my body, you definitely seem to oblige, as well as the way that my mind realized that you are the truth that I cannot hide, and I want you. So take me into your essence, take me into your spirit and mind, and physically as well as spiritually intertwine into something ultimately divine as we continue to high climb into the towers of love, from soul and mind to body inside and spirit. I just want you to take me, never break me, hold me in your heart and never forsake me. And I definitely dive into yesteryear with the level of love that I plan to grind and turn away the tears and smile, wiping away all of the fears as I reciprocate unto you. Let me make love to your mind, body, and spirit. Let me wrap my love around you so tight you can feel it and hear it even when I'm away. Because it's sealed, embedded into you. The question is, are you willing to receive? I mean, are you truly ready to receive me, the real me, authenticity? I want you to indulge into every delicious, scrumptious, delightful flavor cake. See, your first step is to come here and take me. I'm Miss Cheesecake. I want you to take me, never forsake me, and please don't try to break me. At least in not a bad way.
Man. I say,
I'm still there. Hey, I'm like this over here.
right? Every time
I know.
I love it. I thought that was so sensual, so beautiful. Oh man, and I heard that. I'm telling you, it's the best. Listen, I'm not getting freaky on y'all because Friday Miss Cheesecake takes care of that in her Freaky Friday. But when I heard that, I was in the shower. Like I'm telling you, I was hearing the whole thing, and I was like, go ahead, Miss Cheesecake. I like that. I did love it. So, what you think, Cheese? I could tell you love
it. Hey, take me. She said, take me.
Take me.
She just said a lot of things. But the drizzle of it all, like Miss Cheesecake, that is you delivered in such an elegant, cozy way that you do it. That's the drizzle, ladies and gentlemen. So, bam, what you say?
Yeah. Ooh, yeah, the drizzle of it all. I love the line. There's many lines, but I just want to get drunk off of you.
Yes.
The image of I love that. That is, the physically and spiritually intertwining, the merging together of it all. That's what the whole, the piece in totality is. The merging of togetherness, that intertwining, the twisting, becoming one. Beautiful piece, Miss Cheesecake, beautiful.
I have to tell you guys, I think it's so elegant. It's so elegant. It's beautiful. It's soft. It's a perfect track, song, piece, expression. When you're kind of coming from a long day from work, when you have a lot of craziness going on, and you just want something smooth, and you just, you know what I mean? You just want to chill, and you listen to that. I was vibing, y'all. It's a vibe. So I love it.
Right.
I love it. That was on her independent. This is Miss Cheesecake, y'all. And we don't just, this is not an echo chamber here. This is what we love. This is what we do.
Thank you, Miss Cheesecake, for that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's beautiful.
Yes.
It's beautiful. And I want everybody to know it is available on all platforms, y'all. Y'all gotta go get that. Mean it. You gotta go get it. We love it.
Yes,
all right.
Indeed.
So now that we got that out the way, we have something that I really, really enjoyed as well. And a big shout out to all of you who are really in your bag. I mean, I'm not kidding. I'm noticing a lot of things. I'm noticing that we have this spirit of passion, right? We have this spirit of passion that we love to get into. When I say we love to get into, we love to get into. And this is Passion for Passion by our very own MOOR, BETTA, CHIZZ, and Miss CHEEZCAKE. And this is a single, and it's available also on all platforms. I'm not playing with y'all. Y'all gotta listen to this right here. I'm not kidding.
Tantalizing licks and tongue lashes. We go at it, passion for passion. I love how that we understand each other. Your nourishment is my encouragement, love. It's only right that I give you this passion. I delight in pleasing you in every fashion. I'm turned on by the way your eyes roll while gasping. And although I'm turned on by the way you gasp from my touch, it's your naughty whispers I enjoy so much. 'Cause when you speak, you build bridges of knowledge and passion. And I find pleasure in massaging your scalp while kissing you passionately. 'Cause between my hands is a mind where intellect and passion find peace. Just as I have found my peace deep inside your sanctuary, I'll please you with untamed passion that only one dreams of. But loving on your soul, love, is true vision. I'm your king, I'm your protector, and I'll defend you. I'll be your outer wall, just as much as I enjoy your inner walls of delight. And the rhythm and the clash of our bodies create a symphony that removes all silence. What I'm saying, Queen, is your mind is a masterpiece. Every thought you weave is poetry in motion, and I love how we move. It's like a magic potion. Your wisdom is a melody, and I'm in tune with every note you sing. Your beauty can never fade, but the glow of your intellect is forever radiant. You don't just see, you walk in power. You define it, embody it, inspire it. And I admire the way you analyze and strategize and harmonize intellect with intuition. Your strength isn't just in presence, it's in perception, seeing what others overlook. Yeah. I stand beside you, not in competition, but in collaboration. We elevate together. Iron sharpeneth iron. You keep my mind polishing my other body parts, but my spirit is driven. You are the balance between wisdom and grace, and I honor that in every way. Passion for passion.
It's the way you think, the way you talk. You intellectually make love to me before you even touch me.
Baby, you're my passion fruit.
I just love to indulge in the delectable, delicious taste of where your mind takes me, making me want to beg desperately for more stimulation from the way your mind works.
Baby, you're my passion fruit.
Internally making me want to burst with the most sublime, creamy delight of dessert supplied just for you. And to deeply dive into me first, watching your body language as you dig into the depths of my cerebral cortex, stimulating all the synapses to my cerebellum, and the reciprocal value of me pouring all of my divine nectar, the juices from my mind is penetrable. Watching you strip all of the layers off, opening up to me, placing my body against your thoughts, and you embracing and able to handle me roughly yet soft, like a rocket ready to take off into the galaxy in your mind, so divine. As the beauty of the energy transferred intertwines, a quiet time to play, energetically between the sheets, just a mere imagination and a beautiful mental feast. At the end of the day, transcending time and the ultimate mental masterpiece. You're the king of my thoughts, and with that, the emotion follows. And I'm the queen to your heart, filling all those empty spaces you thought were once hollow with an overflow of the softest love. Mind and heart meshing so tightly but free, snug like a glove, with the freedom of flight, like a dove.
Man. Ah, my Lord. Snaps that. It's not my first time hearing it, but what do you think about that, Cosmic?
Oh my goodness. The visualizations of it all. Like, this piece is chock full of intense visualizations. What did I write down? And I was trying to write quick, but I remember CHIZZ, you said something about your mind between my hands, physicality and spirituality. I find my peace, the glow of your intellect, like these little pieces just, and then the whole baby, you're my passion fruit. I was just like, ooh. Miss Cheesecake diving into the cerebral cortex of it all, right? And the galaxy of your mind, just so many wonderful visualizations brought forth.
Right.
Through the power of expression, the words, right? Oh my goodness.
I agree.
I love this piece.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Coach the Apache, Miss Cheesecake.
Yes.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. I just wanted to say that, honestly, you got to appreciate something like that, because passion is a living force. I think I said this before. It's intelligent. That piece right there is not only intelligent, it's a little raw though, but it's beautifully relentless. It's beautifully relentless. It left me, and I'm sure it's gonna leave you out there, moved by its depth. It's fearless intimacy, and I love that. I really, really love that. I have nothing else to say is that you both are so talented, and I can't wait to see and hear more collaborations with everyone. I just can't.
Yes,
I love
absolutely.
it. I love it. All right, now. We have someone else over here who's special. She's special too. We all have special people. And I love it. We have Cosmic Oracle. Now listen to me. Talk to us about wildflower love, but don't talk to us too much because I want to play this. So don't say nothing yet. Don't say nothing. Don't talk. Because I really want to hear this. And I think it's beautiful, Cosmic. I can't wait till we get into it right after everyone hears it. I want everybody to hear this and pay attention, because this is beautiful. I'm telling y'all.
I love you in a way that I cannot contain. The love I feel for you grows out of me like the wildflowers, untamed, radiant, reaching high toward the sunlit sky. Each petal is an affirmation whispered to the wind, each root an anchor in the fertile soul of destiny. You arrived not as a storm, but as rain after years of drought, gentle, restoring, necessary. I love you in a language I once thought you'd never understand. The dialect of energy that lives within hidden sensitive spaces. But surprisingly, you do. You listen beyond words. You hear the pulse within my depths, my language of interconnectedness. It takes mighty effort to reveal what hides beneath the surface, to let another see the trembling beneath the reflection of calmness. The tides below still waters, but with you, darling, the unveiling refreshes. With you, honey, my spirit exhales. How blessed I am to be understood by you, to be seen not just with eyes, but with essence. You mirror my truth back to me like the moon reflects the sun, reminding me that even my shadows are deserving of light. And so I love you. Not in halves or conditions, but wholly, wildly, in the way flowers lean into the dawn, trusting that the sun will rise again.
Wow.
Whoa.
So foul. Cosmic Oracle.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh my God. Okay, who wants to go first? I don't want to be greedy. Let's cheesecake. What you think?
First of all, what stood out to me, beautiful piece, all of it through and through. What stood out to me is even the dark parts of me deserve love.
Yeah.
The duality, love all of me. Like, yes, that was beautiful. The delivery was everything. Very elegantly delivered and sensual. I love that. A little spicy.
Yeah, that's good. That's good right there. I like what you just said. I love what you just said. I want to get into something real quick. Oh no, okay, Chizzy, talk to us. What you think, honey?
The choice of the beat had me going in. Like it set the stage real quick, and it was complemented by none other than Soul Fam's voice. The way that the pace of your speech and the description, and how you emphasize, you give us like what's more of this person. There's more to it than that in-depthness. I get all of that. It was beautifully done. Wow.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. I love what you said there too, because her voice does it's her execution, right? I've always loved that about Cosmic. Your execution, beloved, is beautiful. It's so magical. It is what I loved about what she said though, and I'm paraphrasing. I would say that when you say that you look at me, not just the outside, but the inside, right? We go through that a lot, right? Because everybody always, looks on the outside right away. And she says, you see everything. And I'm paraphrasing because I caught it. I just don't want to say the wrong thing. I know that's what you were saying. And I took it as like a celebration, right? Because you're feeling free, you're resilient. And it's a love that's untamed, right? And it's capturing, how do I put it? It's like the beauty's blooming and it's powerful. Because it's powerful because when love grows without restraint, that's a wildflower love to me. It's not wild, it's just growing powerfully without restraint. And that to me is freedom. That's beautiful. Shout out to you. And the beat was beautiful. I love that as well. It was lovely. Lovely. And Chiz is right. He says you take your time when you say, because it's cosmic. This is cosmic, and Miss Cheesecake does as well. But Miss Cheesecake has her form as a man, and then so does the Brian McKnight over here. More than a chip. Yes, Brian McKnight of poetry. Y'all don't know I call him the Brian McKnight of poetry. Up there, Miss Cheesecake is the Sade of poetry, and Cosmic is the Mae West of poetry.
The Mae West. Yes.
I just say all of y'all are cooking and cooking and cooking. And speaking about cooking, we have something here. And what I love about this is that we get to see Chizzy, our More Better Chiz, get into his bag with his cooking. And I love it. I love it. And I think it's so beautiful. I'm not going to talk too much about this. I'm just going to try to just go into it and y'all can see what I'm talking about. All right.
We're dancing like savers. Feel the funky beat, let your spirit rise high. Uplifting vibes underneath the sky. Ethnic rhythms blend, a joyous embrace. Tune in, feel the joy, find your happy place.
Hello everyone, welcome back once again to another exciting week episode, Fluidic Flavors. I'm on Better CHEEZCAKE, aka Sir CHIZZ. I'm still your neighbor, cooking it up with flavor. Let's check out this week's featured dish. Let's get into it. We'll be back. Okay, here is my setup for my beef shank savory stew. I have my red lentils, carrots, stewed tomatoes, beef shank, a little butter, Worcestershire sauce. There's my veggie mix, colorful bell peppers, green, I went with the green and the red, onion, and garlic, yes, and potatoes, and some seared corn over here to get that texture right there, that fire roast flavor type. You know, and that's all going in the crock pot, and this is going to cook for about 4 to 6 hours. Right? I'll probably turn it up a little bit on high. Good thing is crock pot is forgiving, so this is going to be delicious. Well, here's to patience and process, because that's what this is right now. Just as it took to prep that meal, place it in the crock. Now, the only thing I can do is just wait patiently, like in life, right? Bam. You know, if I can say anything right now, is to guys, trust the process that's formulating in your life. Steady the course. Pay attention to the ingredients and the things that you're putting in your life. Just as you do cooking a good stew. You know, pay attention to the blind spots. Yeah. Reflect, but always remember to breathe. Life is full of flavor. This is Fluidic Flavors. I'm still your neighbor. On Better CHEEZCAKE, aka Sir CHIZZ. Reflections. Cooking it up. Until next time. See you later.
Welcome to the groove, it's Fluidic Flavors. sky. Ethnic rhythms plan a joyous embrace. Tune in, feel the joy, find your happy place.
Wow. Wow.
Hungry.
I think I just made myself hungry over here.
I know. Me too.
Chizzy, first of all, I almost cried. I don't know why. I felt like it touched me. Your affirmation really hit me. No, seriously, I'm in here like, I don't know why, but it really, it touched me. I'm like, I'm a gangster. What is it? What's CHEEZCAKE?
Emotional gangster. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that reflection, it's so beautiful what you said there. And I'm really good at looking at the eyes and the windows of the soul. And I looked into your eyes and I saw a lot. And I just want you to know that I'm so proud of you. You keep hanging in there. You keep doing what you have to do. I am so proud of you. I don't say this often. I love you, and I think you got this. You got this. I saw. And I just want you, and I forgot that we're recording over here because I'm like, oh, I saw. No, but I gotta be me. I'm not gonna be fake here. I saw. And I just need you to know that you hold my hand and I hold your hand and I need a hug too. And I'm going to hug you. And we all out there hug each other right now. Take the time to hug each other, darn it. I'm just saying.
That's right.
Hug each other. Because there's nothing better than a saxophone player, a poet, and then he got the beautiful teeth. I was looking at your teeth. I'm like, oh, he got nice teeth.
Oh, we know how you love the teeth. Look at this.
I'm so crazy. I know, y'all. Y'all like, Dr. Poetry, you bugging right now. We on show. No, seriously, I said it was gonna be organic, but seriously, it really touched me. I don't even know. It's like it was the cooking. It was the. I love this show. I love this show. I don't say it because we are executive producing over here. I'm saying it because I love things that are not forced. I love things that are coming from what you want to do, like Miss oh God, I was about to call you Miss Peaches. Miss CHEEZCAKE has a love and a passion.
I like Miss Peaches.
Mental health. I know, right? I was like, it's crazy. Mental health. COSMIK is cosmic, the stars, the moon, that's her passion. You have so many in one. I saw music forming, cooking at the same time, and you have a beautiful soul. I saw it, and I love you, and I thought it was beautiful. Okay, somebody take the mic away from me because I'll be here all day. COSMIK, you're in.
I got it.
Soul fam, I just love cook the everything about it, the cooking, but just bringing. Like we always say, life is poetry. Poetry is life. Everything is poetic. To me, that's how I see things. And so like even cooking is poetry. And the way you bring that and your affirmations and just everything, brilliant. Truly brilliant.
Thank you.
I love that. Thank you,
Appreciate
COSMIK. And I want to say something before we get to Miss CHEEZCAKE real quick. The other thing that I love about this about this segment is that I'm a strong believer that how you feel when you cook food, your feelings, your intention, the energy, because I'm really big on that. I wear a uniform. And so when I walk there, a lot of people don't like this, the uniform I wear. So when I walk in, and if I start, because I'm big on, I'm much better in person. Like my eyes are big. And I look into souls and I'll just be like, and I'm really good at that. Really, when I say I'm really good at it. And so when I go into a kitchen or somebody's serving my food, I'm looking at your eyes, right? And then if I could feel that it's not a good one, that you're in there like this fucking bitch, I'm like, no, that's okay. I just changed my mind. When I saw you, it was like warm, good, healing, soup for the soul. You know what I mean? And that's the type of bowl I need right now. I was like, I needed that last week. That was beautiful. Miss CHEEZCAKE, talk to us.
First of all, I'm hungry now. Thank you very much. Right? I'm on big back activities time. I love the segment. I love the recipe, the presentation of the food, the affirmations of everything. And like you just said, when you are in the process of preparing food, that energy
Mm-hmm.
that's put into it is the
Mm-hmm.
determination of how good that meal is going to be.
That's
And now I
right.
got to try that out because I want it right now and I'm hungry. Thank you.
Right? Me
Me
too.
too. Me too.
Mhm.
Again, this cheesecake.
Oh, and I can't eat a couple of things lately. I'm on some, whatever, anti-inflammatory, boring diets. But yeah. Oh my God. So okay, so where are we? So listen. So now I'm gonna go right into this video that I created. It's a new piece, and I'm definitely working on an album, and this is gonna be on the album. It's called War on Balance. I want your feedback on this, y'all. All right, let's check this out real quick. Man, we're living in a world that worships the "don't push me because I'm close to the edge" creed, where extremes are kings and queens, nuances are exiled like rhetoric heretics, and balance is too quiet to trend, it's too complex to go viral, it's too human to be binary. And we speak of emotions like they're enemies. They're told to man up or calm down, as if feeling deeply is a flaw. Repugnant, as if our hearts must be either fortress or a flood. But what if the strength is not the absence of tears, but the courage to hold them without drowning? Why are we debating identity like it's a courtroom drama? Why are we sexually dissecting identity under neon lights? Like why? As if love must be labeled, boxed, and filed alphabetically and chronologically. But identity is not a thesis to be defended. It's a poem. It's a poem still being written. It's the balance between knowing and becoming. And don't get me started on gender. Gender? We've turned it into a battlefield. Masculinity must be steel. Femininity must be silk. But what of the man who protects with gentleness? What of the woman who nurtures with fire? We forget the lioness hunts, the stallion watches the herd, and nature never asks permission to blur the lines, but the media scripts the spectacle. It doesn't seek truth, it seeks traction. It doesn't ask for balance, it demands a villain. So toxic masculinity becomes the headline, but never the healing. We see the abuser, but not the boy, taught to bury his softness within all those different ways of denial, phases of internal rejection of one's own softness. We shame the aggression, but we never ask. We never question the culture that equates vulnerability. And you hear me speak of vulnerability because they see it as weakness. And now toxic femininity enters the frame, enters the room, a counter narrative. And I still see it like a cartoon because it has its ways of manipulative and vain entitlement, flattening into these tropes for algorithms to feast on. But where's the space to ask what wounds taught her to weaponize her worth? What systems taught her that power must come at someone else's expense? I mean, we say a woman must choose nurturer or leader, but why not both? Why not the hand that rocks the cradle also write policy, build empires? Why we can't protect a man? We say a man must be a protector, but never protected. Balance is not the enemy. It is a bridge between emotion and reason, between identity and expression, between the masculine and the feminine that live in all of us. So stop. Don't be fearing the center. Let us not mock the middle. Let us learn to live in the tension and call it wholeness. I'm Dr. Poetry.
Wow.
Ooh.
Snap.
Yes, ma'am. Mm-hmm.
Lot.
Thank you.
I
Mm-hmm.
love it.
Yeah, I
Who's
mean,
going first?
yeah. I want to hear your feedback. I really do. Anyone? Don't jump at once.
Look. Okay.
You're it, Miss Cheesecake.
Okay. I love all of that because everything that you spoke on is something that needs to be discussed more. Why is it always a situation to where there's a constant divide of everything? You can have balance. There is a duality in everything. The delivery was beautiful. The instrumental, yes, ma'am, you did that. Snap, snap, snap. And the emotion put behind that, I could hear and feel where you was coming from. It was different aspects of different things, and it's just the duality and the blending of it all. Yes, absolutely.
I appreciate you, Miss Cheesecake. That's where I was at with it. Thank you. If I could, that's where I was at with it. Chizzy, talk to us, honey.
Well, to add to what Miss Cheesecake said, you started off, don't push me close to the edge, talking about that motion, right? In the world that we live in, it seems like, because we feel that push, right? Sometimes in that motion. And I like how you brought that out, like from jump, and and the intentions, the balance of it all you spoke of, right? And why must love be labeled? I wrote that down. Why must love be labeled? Why must our identity be labeled? These questions, you're challenging us to ask ourselves, right? To take a closer look, the natural order of law, versus man's ego and how it collides, a lot of times. But if we just revert back and just look, as you mentioned, you know what I mean, in comparison with the natural law, I can go on and on.
Thank you for that. That's great insight.
I can go on and on.
I like that what you said about you pointed the don't push me because I'm close to the edge.
Yes.
Shout out to them for that.
And we don't question culture. We don't question culture either. Like,
we don't. We know the media has a lot to do with it, but we're kind of we're going with the times. We're going with what's in style. And if, like, for instance, if a label's in style, then we're gonna label everything on that because it's style. And I was coming from there because we all frequent same spaces sometimes, and we go in places and some rooms, and we're kind of like, what in the world's going on here? Now, and that's why I like Miss Cheesecake's rooms as well, because when you do touch up on a lot of things, Miss Cheesecake, you do try to bring that balance. Like, you're not gonna let no one get away with it. Like, it doesn't matter what sex it is. If you're doing wrong, and you're calling it out. And I like that. I feel the same way. Talk to me, Cosmic, so we can get.
Yes. First of all, something when listening, everything's the visuals, the beat, but the words, of course. Reflection of somebody who's written this piece in this season. It's reflective of because of what it divulges, and I was thinking the feather within, the ma'ati aspect, balances wholeness, embracing it all, and then showing how the social construct has created these divisions and the labeling of everything. And it's just, I just had that thought of, it's like you'll hear Cosmic talk about ma'at and the balance, the truth, the justice, the everything, but scales resting upon your spirit when you wrote this, reminding me by listening to you to weigh each action in the light of integrity. So yeah, beautiful piece. I can't wait to hear the whole album. This is just like
thank you. It's coming soon, though. Coming soon. I'm glad you guys enjoyed that. I appreciate you. That is not out yet, but it's copywritten, so don't you try. I will say, I'll say this really quick so we can get into this poetic clinic, because I really want to get into this poetic clinic. There's something about me looking into self and saying, it's time to really balance things out. Like, don't be so quick to judge. I've said this several times. Poetry is a lesson also. It teaches me a lot. And interacting with you guys, I've learned also to, I've had to check myself. And I say that I'm being transparent. I had to check myself. I'm like, you can't always think that everything's going to be to the left or to the right. You got to have you got to meet people here in the middle. We're often so afraid of being in the middle. It's almost like, because, one thing I learned, that it's okay to be in the middle. And I say that because tactic, I always bring it back to police work, right? And Chiz, you can work with me on this one because you were in the military. I'm not sure how far they trained you guys in terms of being tactical. There's a position where you stand like ready, go, like you're ready, like so your legs and your thighs, you put all the power in your legs so that if somebody hits you from the left, you're still strong. If somebody try to hit you from the right, I'm still strong. And if somebody comes to me, I'm moved to the side and I'm moved to this. So you want to be in the middle. You don't want to be like this to the right. You don't want to be, it's a good thing I have this chair, and to the left, right? You want to be balanced. And I had to look at that training the other day to myself, and I had like an epiphany about like, you could always see when somebody's coming at you to the left or to the right, you have to be ready. But there's nothing wrong. Don't be scared of the middle, because the middle was going to protect you.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's really good. You know, you took me there with that visual. I was right there. I was right there with you.
Yeah. Well, y'all, we have a lot more going on, Miss Cheesecake. We have the wonderful Miss Cheesecake, and I forgot one thing, y'all. I did forget one thing. We have to go into a quick promo before we go into the oh my God, I can't even talk. Before we go, well, you know what? I could save the promo for later. We're gonna go right into Miss Cheesecake. And Miss Cheesecake, I am excited because I cannot wait until we go into this poetic clinic. Let's go. Hold on one second. I'm excited, y'all. I'm just excited to be with everybody here right now. And, you know, let's just go. I'm ready. Y'all ready? Let's
come on in. Welcome. Glad to have you here. I'm Miss Cheesecake, and you are now in the Poetic Clinic. Let's chat. Come on in, have a seat, kick back, relax, and rest your feet as we dive into the mental avenues you may feel are your defeat. But at the end of the day, it's my treat to have you in my seat as we dive off into the things I like to call a mental feast. Push your pride aside and your emotions in it as we take a ride down to the Poetic Clinic. Let me stamp in your mental passport as we travel to lands beyond. Things that you thought were your last resort, I will help you define and continue to be your support, poetically and prophetically lifting you up. The mental aspects of poetry that overflows your cup, diving into the deeper aspects and channel yourself, healing, feeling, and validating yourself through the mental chemistry, spiritual ministry, and poetry. Right here at the Poetic Clinic with your favorite dessert, real solid, no debates, with your mental poetic vibes with Miss Cheesecake. Let's dive into the trauma, the pain, resentment, and fear. You might get a few laughs and definitely will shed a few tears. But no worries, I got your back and your front too. As we dive into the psychological passages of what you've been through. So make yourself comfortable, have a seat on the couch, and trust and believe I hold your hand through it. And that's a word of mouth with your favorite dessert. Straight to the point, no debates. In the Poetic Clinic with your girl, Miss Cheesecake.
Well, good evening and happy holidays to all you lovely people out there. It's your girl, Miss Cheesecake with the drizzle, your favorite dessert, here to dive into the Poetic Clinic and talk about something that is very near and dear to me. A lot of people are not familiar with this term. A lot of people have experienced this and don't know exactly what it is that they're, going through or processing, or things that they have experienced from the past. Well, I'm here to tell you it has a name. We're here to talk about parentification. So what parentification is, let me go to my notes. Parentification is when a child is forced to take on the role of a supportive adult within their family. For example, a parentified child may be required to take care of their younger siblings or referee their parents' arguments. These developmentally inappropriate situations arise when parents cannot fully care for themselves. The phenomenon occurs on a spectrum and it can lead to significant short-term and long-term challenges. So the reason in particular that I decided to choose this topic in particular is because I was the parentified child. I literally had responsibilities delegated to me as a child. I was a caregiver, the housekeeper, the cook, the babysitter, all of these different things. I was involved in a lot of different things that didn't suffice me as a child. Witnessing arguments, having to referee arguments, or being put in the middle of situations that I didn't need to be in, that were not developmentally helpful to me at all, along with going to school and doing all these different things, just trying to be a kid and then balancing all of this unnecessary stuff. So what is it exactly? Parentification is a role reversal in families in which the child acts as the parent in the family system. For instance, emotional parentification can take the form of a child mediating between family members, acting as a parent's therapist, or being privy to their parents' adults' problems, such as single parents' dating struggles or financial woes. Definitely was there for a lot of that. It's not okay, ladies and gentlemen out there. If you have kids, I understand we all struggle, we all going through shit. And at the end of the day, you can't help your situation, but it is not okay to involve your children in these type of environments, because what that does is it sets them up for a lot of negative interactions, and we're going to get into that too. Emotional parentification does not refer to moments when a child sees their parent upset and gives them a loving hug. Emotional parentification is a chronic role reversal based on the parent's inability to manage their own emotions and sufficiently care for their child. So in the normal setting, the parent is set up basically to be the caregiver and the person that is the head of the household, doing all the duty as a parent. The roles are reversed in these cases here. So where the child is performing the adult duties that the parent should be doing, and the parent kind of has like an emotionally stunted view on life. So they're kind of like in arrested development, and they're delegating all of these different responsibilities and things onto these children that don't need to have these responsibilities, as well as like the traumatic events in between. So examples of what parentification is. Stories of parentification often emerge in therapy. Examples include, it was always my job to calm mom down so that she didn't yell at my siblings. It is not a child's responsibility to regulate an adult's emotions. That's not even supposed to be in any of the dynamics whatsoever when it comes to a child and parent dynamic whatsoever. If anything, the parent is supposed to be teaching the child how to regulate their own emotions. Dad talked to me about the household financial stress. It was my job to reassure him that he could handle it. It is not your job as a child, or, if you're an adult now that experienced this, I'm telling you now, it is not your job as a child to take on the responsibility and role and giving the pep talk to your parents that you got it, you can do it. Of course, kids naturally will do that because they want to see their parents succeed. But it's not your job mentally. It's not your responsibility to do any of those things, because these are the things that they're supposed to be instilling in you. It felt like if I didn't handle things, nobody would. AKA what that creates in adulthood is that hyper independence. So it's very hard to rely as an adult on other people when they say that they're going to do things. And that's just like the standard that it sets. Like I said, there's so many different things that are attributed to this in particular. What are the signs that someone may have experienced parentification? Examples include, they were given responsibilities that were not appropriate for their age. They grew up feeling like they always had to be responsible. They were pulled into arguments or issues between caregivers. They constantly had trouble playing or letting loose, so not being able to really relax and just enjoy being a kid. They often received compliments for being so good and so responsible. They feel like being self-reliant is better than trying to trust others. They don't really remember being a kid. They find that being a caretaker feels good, even when they sacrifice parts of themselves. And also they they have the feeling and the need to be the peacemaker. Like I said, what these things do as far as an installation in the mind of children is it creates people pleasers. It creates the narrative and the setup for experiencing abuse in adulthood, really and seriously. Like, for example, they find that being a caretaker feels good even if they sacrifice parts of themselves. A lot of us as adults have been in relationship dynamics to where we felt the need to kind of take on that mothering role or that fathering role. Is gender neutral. Also, they often receive compliments for being so good and so responsible. Oh, they're all right. Nothing's wrong with them. They're the strong one. Inside crumbling though. And then to further add on to that, because I got some more over here. There's different types of parentification too. So again, a parentified child is forced to act like an adult, taking on caregiver roles, emotional or practical, for parents or siblings due to a parental unavailability. So there absolutely is emotional inavailability. There is a lot of mental things going on. Of course, you know, your day-to-day stressors and things of that nature, but it's deeper than that. It's emotionally rooted. It's mentally rooted. It's a psychological thing that is placed into the mind of, in the hands of a child to be able to navigate when they don't even know how to navigate being a kid just yet. There's all these things are new to them. So being in the process of trying to understand exactly what it is that you're doing as a kid, and then also taking on this role as an adult that you didn't ask for, is challenging. So there are the different types of parentification. One is called instrumental parentification. The child handles age inappropriate tasks like cooking, cleaning, managing finances, or taking care of the younger siblings. Kids are not supposed to do that. I know a lot of us, you know, either help raise our siblings or, you know, was the babysitter in certain dynamics. And really and seriously, we were not supposed to be, but that was supposed to be, quote unquote, teaching us responsibility. We didn't need to know that. We were supposed to be outside playing, being kids. Emotional parentification, the child serves as the parent's confidant, mediator, or emotional support system, absorbing adult problems. Basically, you're their therapist at that point. They're telling you all their shit, and you're just sitting there, and because you're so mature, you're so, you know, well-rounded in what it is that you're doing, it makes you feel good because you're receiving praise in these dynamics because you're so strong and you're able to handle these things because of that maturity. But in reality, you're taking on responsibilities that have absolutely nothing to do with you. Also, the common signs: excessive responsibility, managing household finances, acting as a peacekeeper or mediator in a family, being told you're mature for your age, like I just said, providing emotional support to a parent, comforting them, listening to their problems. Now, as far as why this happens, parental struggles usually with mental health, addiction, trauma, or immaturity. There are a lot of people, like I said, that experience arrested development. So anytime you go through a traumatic event or, you know, just life circumstances or whatever, sometimes instead of, especially back in the day, a lot of the people didn't really go to therapists. They didn't believe in therapy. It was a situation to where that was shunned, or you're crazy if you're getting, you know, type of assistance in that, when in reality, that needed to be the key ingredient in order to fulfill you as a child. These are the things that were needed to be poured into you as a child. Where was I at? Oh, absent or emotionally unavailable parents. Like I said, a lot of people don't be in there. The mall is open, but ain't nobody shopping. It's a situation to where, like, you had your parents, they were in the household, but they weren't there emotionally. They were just checked out, working on autopilot, if you will. And that is a lot of the parental dynamics that a lot of us have experienced. Or if you haven't experienced it yourself, you know somebody that has experienced this because you've seen these things in them. Family crisis like divorce, financial hardship, things of that nature. The long-term effects: difficulty forming healthy adult relationships, like I was saying earlier, people-pleasing tendencies and low self-esteem, low self-worth, tied to providing care, anxiety, depression, or other mental health challenges, struggles with setting boundaries. And I definitely can relate to all of those things right there, because those ingredients, because mind you, My fascination with diving into these things is like really understanding myself. So I try to make things easier for you all to understand out there listening, and hopefully you're learning and reading along too, and dig into it yourself. Like reading is fundamental. It's very fun to your mental. How to heal from this? Recognizing the experience as a form of trauma, because that's exactly what it is. In the moment while you're experiencing it, you do not acknowledge it as that, but that is exactly what it is. Seeking therapy to understand the role reversal and its impact. And then actually, going through the process of making a mental note, like start writing things down about your experiences overall of what you experienced, the pros and cons about that. Also, learning to prioritize your own needs and accept care from others. Now, I'm not going to lie to y'all. That's hard. That is very hard. That is not something that is easy to dive off into because you're so used to a certain narrative and like being performative, if you will. You feel like you're constantly on the stage. So when it is a situation to where you're receiving praise, you're expecting a certain dynamic and a certain reward system based on the fact that you were kind of trained to be like this, which is what brings the people pleasing, which is what brings the low self-worth, self-esteem. You'll choose partners, excuse me, you'll choose partners that you feel the need to take care of. It's not your responsibility at all. This weather is kicking my ass. Also, to add on to that, it is okay to acknowledge your experience. Always understand that validating your experience, first and foremost, is the most important thing that you can do. Whether you're currently in therapy or not, it is okay to validate yourself. Your experience is yours. And at the end of the day, go get help. If you don't have the proper tools to navigate that, please go seek counsel and talk about what it is that you experience, because it's for you. And if you plan on procreating and having children, these are things that you're in the process of unlearning. So you break that cycle, you break that chain of generational curses. I actually have a piece pertaining to this that I want to get into. Excuse me. Talking about my experience being the parentified child. I wasn't supposed to be your emotional punching bag. I was supposed to live life, have fun, and be glad. Instead, I was responsible for taking on your role as the parent, cooking, cleaning, caring for children I did not give life to. And when I didn't comply with your instructions, I felt like I was lied to. Because what happened to the love that supposedly was there that was never expressed? I guess I wear these expectations on my chest. Even now, as an adult, being performative and expecting praise because as an adult, my inner child wasn't raised. I just grew up in age, size, in a constant daze. But at the end of the day, I realized that emotionally I was stunted, blinded, and walking through a maze of constant displays of mental foreplay that later on turned out to be abuse. I wasn't protected, always disrespected, and constantly put in a box, feeling different levels of entrapment, my different levels of emotions fleeing away with chase like a fox, going through constant feelings of exile, when in reality, as I did deeper into my research, come to find out, I'm the parentified child. I grew up constantly dismissing my own emotions, my own thoughts, ideas, etc., based on the fact that they were constantly dismissed by you. And I don't mean you as one individual, I mean a few of the adults that had their hands in raising me. I was constantly the helper, the therapist, the good girl, being performative. As long as I did what I was supposed to do, there was praise. And even when I didn't receive it, I still felt the need to impress just so I could get a simple gaze of confirmation, attention, and view. But in reality, it had nothing to do with me. It was all up to you. I was just me, a mere mortal, and catapult to your destiny based on being used to use. So when I grew up, that's all that I knew. So it became a form of a relationship for me that I constantly misconstrued. I've come to realize that was my life for a long while. And as I dig deeper into the depths of me, I realized that I was, and running at this point away from being the parentified child. And Also, to add onto this subject, we have a very special guest, Dr. Poetry. Come on down. The price is right.
First of all, snaps out to you, Miss Cheesecake. That is beautiful. That piece, yeah. First, this information is so important, Miss Cheesecake. Right now, I'm taking notes. And then after this, I'm just going to be like, Miss Cheesecake, we got to talk because everything you said was spot on. Spot on. I didn't realize there were so many different types of parentification. You know, parentification. I can't even pronounce that word sometimes. Parentification. Like it's a lot. But that piece of yours right now, that's beautiful. And honest to you. Well, I have this piece that's called The Child Who Couldn't Be One. The Child Who Couldn't Be One. And here it goes. I'm going to try to, because it's very hard sometimes to recite when I can't really. Here we go. She was a child who never got to be one. A daughter turned caretaker. A girl turned glue. For a family fractured by silence, illness, and unmet needs. The DSM-5 does not list parentification as a formal diagnosis, but psychology knows it well. A role reversal, where the child becomes the parent before her brain has even finished pruning neurons. Instrumental parentification. She cooked, cleaned, bathed her siblings, translated bills, and broken emotions into order. Emotional parentification. She was the therapist, the mediator, the sponge for adult grief that had no business soaking into her skin. They called her mature for her age, but maturity born of survival is not a gift. It's a scar that looks like strength. And now, as a woman, she faced a different ache, the inability to bear children of her own. The irony is cruel. She mothered before she menstruated. She nurtured before she knew what it meant to be held. And now her womb is silent. A space she once imagined would redeem the girl who never got to be one. But ignorance is not justice, and grief is not linear. She grieved not just the children she couldn't have, but the childhood she was never given. She grieved the way her body was trained to serve, but never to receive. The way she learned to anticipate needs, but never to name her own. Some call it resilience, but resilience without rest is just exhaustion in a prettier dress. So she speaks now, not as a victim, but as an expert of her own survival. She names the pattern parentification. She named the womb invisible labor. She named the loss a lineage interrupted before it could begin. And she reclaims the truth. She's not broken. She's unburdening. She's learning that being childless does not mean being loveless. That being motherless doesn't mean being motherless forever. For she can mother herself now. And that, perhaps, is the most sacred acceptance of it all. For the child who couldn't be one.
Sheesh. Whoa. That's deep, beautiful, beautifully written. Emotion. Ooh. Hold it together. I'm an emotional gangster. All right.
Miss Cheesecake, I can't be up with you. You start making me cry real quick. And I'm trying because I'm good at just not crying. I can't. Is that normal? You cry on the inside?
Yes,
I cry on the inside.
I do it.
I cry on the inside. It's like I can't. It just doesn't come out, but I'm crying. I'm crying, y'all.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, it's the holidays, right? It does it to us all the time. 'Tis the season to be jolly, but you have to interrupt it to make sure that you're really jolly.
You gotta do it. You gotta shake it off.
Well, thank you. I'm gonna exit so I can let you do your goodbyes and stuff. Thank you for that. I appreciate you, Miss Cheesecake. All right, I'll see you in a
And thank you. That was a beautiful piece, y'all. That right there, being the parentified child, it ain't no joke for real. Because you literally will find yourself in your adulthood having to do exactly what she just said, raising yourself, being the person that you needed someone to be for you. And with that, I bid you adieu, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your evening at the Poetic Clinic.
Thank you for coming in and sharing your truth. Instead of pruning the surface, you dove deeply to the root. It might have been a debate, but you definitely took the time to go in it, sitting with your girl, Miss Cheesecake, at the Poetic Clinic.
Yay. I love that, Miss Cheesecake. That was a good, informative show. We needed that.
Yeah.
We needed that. You got, yeah. I think you muted Chiz. Yeah. Yeah, that was good. That was good.
Yes, that was amazing. And yes, we needed that. I needed that.
Right?
How big is that couch? Because how
big is that couch?
Listen, we're about to take the train down there because we're in the train right now. We're taking the train to the Poetic Clinic. Elevator. I will take the elevator up too. Listen, Cheesecake, you must have a lot of clients, right?
Some, little something. Come on down, sit on the couch.
And this is a quick question for everyone. Do you guys think, especially Cosmic being a nurse, and Chiz, you've been in the military, you know a lot about these things. Like, do you think, and obviously this is directed to Miss Cheesecake, but we all can answer. Do you think that around this time is when most we start feeling that because you're kind of like so used to doing so much for everyone? I've fallen back, to be honest. I've fallen back. Yeah.
I see that with my mom. My mom shows some aspects of parentification, and it shaped my mom in a certain way as a mother. Wonderful mother, but there's just certain things, and she's been working on for the last couple of years, working on this amongst other things. But it's this time of year. It's interesting you say that, Izzy, and I see it with patients too. Actually, this last week alone, I see patients, folks, for certain things, right? But because of Cosmic Oracle being who she is, I'm like my father. Everybody feels the need to just release and divulge and talk to me, open up and just release and let go. And so there's some things I heard this last week. And I actually mentioned to a few of these individuals talking about the season and reminding them, yes, this is the time, and we went through all of that. So it's interesting that you say that because yes, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. When the piece I wrote, I really dedicate that to my older sisters. They had a lot to do. I'm the youngest. My older sisters, and especially my older sister, the oldest, Belinda, she had to take care of us and she had to do a lot. And we all did, especially to my sisters now. I relate to it in the terms of being like the 911 operator, because I don't think it was so much the cooking and cleaning, although we did that, but I just thought I was normal, because we always clean. My household was pretty much like run. It was like we were military, everything had to be in order. And so when I think about that, I just think they were chores, to me they were chores, but I don't know. It's like we had to clean. And had to keep everything. And I don't cry about that, but I had to write that in that poem because I do remember that was a big, big deal. Like, you know what I mean? And we had to answer questions to like the authorities when they came to the home that like I shouldn't be like this dispatcher at a young age. Like this is happening at this home. Like, and I was like 6 or 7. making phone calls. So when I think of that, I think that's where I started becoming a parent, like an adult right away. I had no, you know what I mean? I can't even process what's happening because I went straight into first responding at an early age.
Right.
So that's why I kind of cater to that. But yeah, my goodness. So what's in the cards, man? We got to go into these cards. We got to talk to Cosmic Oracle because first of all, big shout out to Miss Cheesecake. That was dope.
Yes.
We got Cosmic now. Cosmic, you have a piece for us, or are you gonna go straight into it? Yeah,
I do actually. I was trying to decide if I wanted. I was toggling between two, but I figured I'm going to do this one because we're still technically in autumn, and I wrote this last month in November. It's called November's Breath.
Oh.
And because I was going to read my other one, which I'm going to save for next week. The one on, it's called Sinterklaas, the robed one, talking about the truth of
Sinterklaas.
The true name of Santa Claus or Saint Nick and where it all derives from, because the roots go deep.
Good. So next week we all could come in with Christmas stuff on.
Right?
Everybody's doing sweaters.
I'm going to save them.
There you
I'm
have it.
putting on all my Christmas outfit. I don't know. Let me see. Reindeer. Do I want to be a reindeer? I don't know what we're gonna be. But next week we gotta. So make sure y'all don't forget when y'all watching Hear Me Out Poetry, y'all gonna put on your ugly sweaters because we call them Christmas sweaters. Take care of that. All right, y'all. So I'm gonna give this Cosmic floor here.
All right. So I'm going to read this piece. It's called November's Breath. November's breath upon my neck awakens mists and omens. Fog curls like memory, carrying messages from the fallen leaves as they paint the need for release. Ravens chant in the language of endings, their wings a shroud for the sun's last warmth. They summon death not as a destroyer, but as a healer to all things shedding form. The air tastes of cinnamon and smoke, the hush between heartbeats stretching long, as unseen skeletal hands guide me home through twilight fields, where warmth embraces my weary sigh, and the hearth remembers my secrets deep inside. The crackle of firewood eases my soul, cedar and cloves simmering in the cauldron of renewal. I exhale what I've carried too long and watch it rise with the embers, a slow surrender to the great things turning. To the great turning. Somewhere the crone is chanting. Her voice threads through the shifting, reminding me that even decay is devotion, a sacred return to balance. So I kneel before the dying year, pressing my palms into the soil, still breathing, as I sing to the earth my song of praise, a serene ambiance of autumn. Poem.
Snappy snaps and more some yes. Snaps. You muted.
First off, you muted. I couldn't snap right because I was writing, so my snaps were coming in like this.
I don't know what's going on here. My goodness. First of all, that was beautiful. You had me when you said paint the need for release. Because it's always like that was like the red flag when you know you have to release.
Right.
Fall is, that's why I love fall. That was so beautiful. That was so beautiful.
Thank you.
It's refreshing. And it gives me hope, you know. It reminds us that it's okay. You know what? Come fall, you could release everything you don't want because in the spring you bloom new things, and it's, you know, I love that was beautiful. And you know, I love when you recite, my goodness. It's so beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. What's going on, y'all? What y'all think about that? That was
the in tuneness with the earth, like, you know, the comparison, nature
yes.
took you there. If you wasn't in the ground feeling it, you know, and the warmth and everything of the sun, the description of it, I was there. You know, I don't know if Bambi was there, but I was right there in the thorns and the thickets of it all. But the exhaling, you spoke of, that you you held for so long, you know what I'm saying? Letting go, right?
Right.
And me being someone who's born, November, right? So it's like autumn,
Right.
the transformation of things, and that, I don't know, guys, it's like a spiritual release, right? In harvest time, like
Harvest, yes.
and then the inhaling in, embracing new things and becoming, right? We're constantly becoming. Motion. I enjoyed it.
That what I got from that was the cycle of life. I started smelling cinnamon. I had the visual of me standing in a beautiful field, orchard of leaves. The death and rebirth cycle, that transformation period.
Yes.
And getting rid of the old, out with the old, in with the new, and just opening and being welcome to new beginnings. I love that. It was a beautiful piece.
I thought it was beautiful. And when she talks about the tree, you know what? It's beautiful that you acknowledge all these things and that we're able to look at it like that, because one of the things I love about trees, and you reminded me of that, is that when you look at a tree, what it goes through, right? It goes through all the seasons, all of them.
Right.
The scorching heat,
Exactly.
the winter, the spring, when all, it provides food for these birds and squirrels and all these different things that are going on. It's like it's such a big deal. But then it's hanging in there. And when you start seeing the leaves start falling, I don't celebrate sadness. Like, oh my God, the trees, they died. I never was that kid to be all sad about that. I was actually happy because I knew that it was about to it's a process.
Yes.
And I think we have to, and I think that's a metaphor for what you just finished writing. Embrace it. I think Chiz just spoke to that. Embrace it. You wrote that so beautifully. I love that, Cosmic. That was beautiful.
Thank you. Can I share something real quick?
Sure. Come on.
Just a little something I want to say. Sorry. I just thought about this. So my book is almost finished. The Power of Herbs, a Spiritual Practitioner's Guide. And so I mentioned some herbs in that poem because it's the season. I mentioned clove. So something I want to start doing, I'm going to start bringing to the forefront is like maybe each week, maybe the herb of the week or something like that. I might talk about it on social platforms. And I was thinking about this the other day. So cloves. So cloves, right? And in my book, I have the different chapters that mean different things. And this is actually an excerpt from my book, chapter 3. And so I say to talk about cloves, the Heka properties. So Heka meaning life force of creation. That's what Heka is. Sometimes it translates to magic, but magic is life force of creation. That's what magic actually means. When you get down to the nitty gritty of magic, people that term has been demonized. It's energy, it's life force. That's what it is. It's alchemy. So the Heka properties of cloves is warm protection, grounding, blessing, comfort, and cloves carry the hearth fire, Heka, guardianship. That feels like warmth. So it's just, I wanted to mention that particular herb, and I want to talk about the spiritual uses, and then I'll be done. So what I included in the book, and this is just a tidbit of this, spiritual uses. Clove is very powerful. I use it all year long, but I really use it a lot in this time of the year. It protects home energy. It soothes the heart after heavy emotional work, supports prosperity workings, so warm abundance current, that current of warm abundance, and helps ward off envy. It helps ward off malice, malevolent energies, and intrusive emotional energy. So I just wanted to share that. And I encourage people to look into cloves and use cloves as a form of protection. And you can put you can get a bowl and put some cloves in there and put it by your doorway, at your windows, things of that nature. So I just wanted to share that. That just came through. And I felt the need.
Thanks, Soul Fam,
There
for
you
that share.
Great info right there.
Man,
Yes.
It's amazing that you just said that, Cosmic. It's amazing. First of all, I am boiling cloves right now in my house. Like I
maybe
have
that's
that,
why I felt the need.
and I have them in my under my pillow. Okay, I have a pillow full of cloves. I didn't know all these things. That's why I believe that sometimes things come natural. Why am I here? Why am I the only one here? I believe that things come natural, like to you when they're from within. So I've always geared to cloves. When you drink clove water, it helps your inflammation. It helps fibromyalgia. It's been helping me.
Does.
It's
Absolutely.
it's such a in my house. One of the things you will always find, if I was ever sick and you guys would come over and go into my cabinet, you're gonna say, "What is going on with Dr. Paul? What's going on with Izzy?" Cloves and cinnamon sticks all year round.
I was gonna say they go hand in hand.
big things, big ones, like and Jamaican flour. I always have cloves, and if people walk into my house, it smells like Izzy's house because it smells like cloves in here. I even feel when I get the medication, like if I was recently, I had to had to take medication. So I've been chewing cloves. I chew them. I'll take one and I suck on it and I chew it because it also helps with all that thing. It tastes like metallic sometimes. I get like a chlorine taste. I don't know. I'm not good with medication. So when I do, it's like I'm a baby. I'm like, but the cloves calm me down. And then it's like you said, it wore off. But I didn't know all this. I've been doing this because my mother did it when I was a kid. She would boil it, go around the house, and do this with the pot. And I'm like, I'm like in my mind, I'm like, cool. But she was going into rooms, always when then the house would smell. It smells like Christmas. So there's and then even it'll go on my clothes sometimes. Like, you smell like you were baking. And I'm like, no, that's my house. It smells like clothes. I just said that it came through. We're connected. Yeah. All right.
The synchronicities of it all. Yeah. And, making tea of like you said, with the water,
I drink
for inflammation, and it's so good for grounding. And then combining cinnamon and cloves together, I talk about that. Wonderful for it's a remedy for various things, but I love that you brought that up and that you're doing it right now. That's
it's all safe for the digestive tract and everything.
Yep. In fact, I always say like the tea for grounding, I include cinnamon. You don't have to, but cinnamon is also good for, it has all the physicalities of it all.
Regulates the sugar. It's good for regulating the sugar.
Exactly. And
it's also an aphrodisiac if you put it and you wash it.
Yep.
Oh, man.
Get a little tingling sensation.
Yeah, cloves, absolutely.
I have soaps that.
It's really
good. Now the grocery store is going to experience a shortage on
the reason why I have cinnamon. There's a reason why I have cinnamon. No, I'm kidding. Right. Listen, y'all, we're getting freaky over here. That's all your fault, Miss Cheesecake. I was having a party in your room. I put on my beat. I was like, and then I'm like, was nobody having fun? Am I the only one having fun?
It was too blind for me. I'm like, y'all need to come on outside and play. What are y'all
I went
doing?
in the straight. You missed it. I used to be scared of the All right, y'all. Cosmic, we're gonna go right into the
awesome.
I'm not gonna say nothing. This is Miss Cosmic Oracle. Y'all already know. Here we go, y'all.
In the starlit night, secrets unfold. Cosmic oracle with stories untold. Whispers of fate reach out to the sky. She'll read your cards, let your spirit fly. Planets align in a cosmic dance, unlocking your truth, offering a chance.
Greetings and salutations, kindred souls. It's Cosmic Oracle for this week's Life Path number. And this week, the Life Path number that stepped to the forefront is the one and only, number 8. That's right. The powerhouse number 8.
Why? Because number 8s, all you number 8s out there, full of this insane ambition, like always creating and thinking ahead and putting everything in place and order and making your moves. Making moves. And so right now it's interesting because the card that came through for you all is nudging you all to make moves. It's like there's been something with you, life path number 8. It's kind of like a little bit of stagnation effect, as I call it, or just on pause. But anyways, you life path numbers are full of discipline, loyalty, dedication, responsibility, and resilience. Resilience. Like, wow. Wow. And you love to guide. Your leadership skills are phenomenal. You love to guide others and teach others to become winners, the powerhouse. And so the Fool card comes forth. And the Fool card doesn't mean foolery. The Fool card means, hello, new beginnings. Representation of like a newborn baby. Looking around for the first time, like, wow, look at all this, and taking it in. And then being inspired and moving forward, going forward upon that path. The journey that you are meant to take. Stop holding back. The Fool saying, stop holding back, let go. Stop trying to control the outcomes, okay? All right? You need to release and let go. Very important. All right, Cosmic is out.
In the starlit night, secrets unfold. Cosmic oracle with stories untold. Whispers of faith reach out to the sky. She'll read your cards, let your spirit fly. Planets align in a cosmic dance, unlocking your truth, offering a chance.
Man,
Let's go.
that was good. Who's the number 8 here, though?
Oh, Waves.
You're number 8.
Chizz.
Chiz, you're 8. Okay, so we gotta give the floor to Chiz. Chiz, you gotta tell us exactly if that's what's going on. Talk to us. That was good, Cosmic.
You know what? And it's so resonating. Obviously, being number 8, and it's crazy. Autumn. We spoke of Autumn, right, Izzy? So I could tell you in a poem real quick, if you like to hear it.
Let's go.
Yes.
Okay, let's get it then. Wrote this poem. Do you remember Artemis in Autumn? And I thought about Artemis Prime. And I said to myself, I'm gonna write a poem. And I said, I'm like Artemis. I'm rolling in my prime. I'm like Jordan back in '96, with the hang time. Anything you heard about me, probably heard it from Vine. My lyrics are celibate. You can't mess with mine. Very funny. No monkey see, no monkey do. I'm genuine and original. Cut from a different cloth, different type of material. Harmony and true and grit. Like milk is the cereal. God's created miracle. I'm like the fire and the rain, calm before the storm. I'm not your average Joe, now I'm far from the norm. I'm Artemis, remember? I can't help but transform. Like path number 8, transformation. I'll pause right there and reflect for the sake of time, but the synchronicity like that.
Oh, that is synchronicity. I mean, wow. And Cheesecake, what do you think about what Cosmic was saying? Cosmic, you are really on point with this stuff. Like, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Did you know that she was going to talk about the Life Path 8? Did you know that? That's crazy.
I don't like to divulge. I mean, I think, what was it, yesterday or something? I forget. I try not to divulge, because if it's somebody's life path number in our poetic fam, I'm like, oh, let me just we'll hold off
Wow.
until this.
That's deep. That's deep. Y'all scaring me. I don't know.
And I have to say, it was hard for me to. I realized it was a little bit shorter than I did last week, but it was because I was having a hard time with everything that was flooding in, and knowing eights. You know, I don't know all the life path numbers. I actually have to channel. I may look into like the 8 I know because my brother's an 8 and my dad's an 8. So I have people in my life and I have a close friend who's an 8. So there's things that I've looked into. And then when I do the channeling part and then I do the tarot is something, it's just what I'm getting for the collective life path number, whatever I'm talking about. But it was so hard for me to put everything in a nutshell with this one because there was a lot flooding in. A lot. So there's things I'm like, I didn't say this. I should have said that because that was like, you know, but life path number 8's a very, there's some similarities to 33, like I mentioned last week, because they tend to go through just like life path 33's. Life was really tough growing up. And usually, not always, there was a lot of financial issues. Mm-hmm. There was a lot of maybe lacking of empathy and love being shown. And the interesting thing about life path number 8's is they don't allow for that to vex them in the future. They use it. They don't become weak, right? They utilize all of this to prevail and therefore guide and teach others. And then it creates for a lot of life path numbers are a lot of simplicity. They're minimalists. But the resilience and that's why I was really big on that, because I was really coming through talking about the resilience of these life path numbers and reliable, responsible, just very, it's there was a lot coming through, folks. So I had to like narrow it down. But
wow. Yeah, that's amazing. That's amazing. CHIZZ, man. Shout out to that poem, though. That was beautiful. I love that. I can't wait to hear more. Yeah, and Cosmic, your insight. Cosmic's insight, y'all. Y'all make sure.
Insight.
Yeah, listen. If you know any life path number 8, y'all better rewind. Listen, anything showing. I'm going to go around the room real quick. Let us know what's going on. You have any shout outs? I'm going to give a big shout out real quick before I forget, because I am forgetting lately. Big shout out to the Birdhouse. Okay. Big shout out to the Birdhouse, DJ Chili Chill, AD, Nettles Owens, and all the family out there. Make sure y'all catch them on Clubhouse and on here on Tuesday. They coming through. Listen, it's the holidays, so if you don't see us sometimes, it's because we're taking care of business, okay? You know, we have families. You know, these ladies have children. Hello. And so does Mr. More Better CHIZZ. He has his princess, and we all taking care. And Coastie Apache, hello. We it's the holidays, but we don't forget y'all, and we appreciate you coming into the app and creating those wonderful profiles. I'm seeing, I'm looking, I'm watching, and you're uploading your poetry, right? Yo, what y'all think?
For real.
So exciting.
Right?
So exciting.
They can upload their poetry and their videos, right? CHIZZ? I can't wait. I love it.
Else is joining. It's dope.
I love that. The support is beautiful. And make sure, like I said earlier, go check out Miss CHEEZCAKE, Cosmic Oracle, Mr. Coastie Apache, and More Better CHIZZ, because they have their stuff out there. And of course, Dr. Poetry, I got my stuff out there too. Make sure y'all check all of us out. Like, the playlist is 190 something tracks, okay, that I have.
You'll be there for a while.
Stereo community. Yes. Shout out to that. All right. So I'm gonna go around. Any shout outs, anyone that I may forget? Family, birthdays, anything that's going on.
I'll see your shout out and raise it too, just by saying, listen, everybody, love yourself, love one another in this season of happiness and peace. Continue to dwell in your peace. Protect your peace.
That's
operate, move in your peace. I'm out.
I love that. Cosmic.
Well, the biggest thing is my book. I have a set date and fingers crossed, but I'm just going with the flow. So I'm not like it has to be released on this date. But my goal, so look forward. And if it doesn't get released on the 21st of this month, as we go into the winter solstice, then we will be bringing it in the new year. But The Power of Herbs, a spiritual practitioner's guide, will be coming to y'all soon.
So that means we're going to have some promos out there very soon, y'all. Make sure y'all look for that, especially for your segment, Cosmic's Insight. That's perfect. It's aligned. Like Chiz likes to say, it's perfectly aligned. All right, Miss Cheesecake. Conversations people are not ready to have. Talk to us.
Shout out to the podcast Conversations People Aren't Ready to Have on Spotify. Shout out to Layers of Love. It's on all streaming platforms. Shout out to all of you guys that hear me out, Poetry Family. Granny Wowzer Sunshine. I miss y'all. I miss y'all. And happy holidays to everybody. I hope y'all have a beautiful time and enjoy it with your family and friends and even with yourself if that's what you're dealing with. Have a good time.
That is right. That is right. That is absolutely right. I will say this really quick. First of all, I love all of y'all. I love my family, my poetic family, and the extended poetic family. We have Granny Wowzers, who's really taking care of business as well. So is Coast the Apache. And a big shout out to Deaf Poetry, who reached out to me. I do believe that, there's always, family is family. Stuff happens, but family is family. And one of the things that I'm learning, to be honest with you, is to try to understand everyone. I'm not, I'm an Aquarius, okay? Cosmic, let me know about the Aquarians. Cosmic, help me. Aquarians need help. I need insurance here. Aquarians, we could be so like we don't have feelings, but we do. I have feelings. I just think about science all the time. If you read my poetry, I'll be talking about biology, and I'm like, well, how did this word get in here? Like, why is this word in my poetry? Or just trying to break things down. And I have empathy, but I noticed that lately it's coming out of me. It's almost like, it's not that because I don't tolerate. There's a difference. I accept. It's different. It's a difference because tolerating, that means you're not happy. You're just tolerating. But I'm accepting certain behaviors and understanding them. And sometimes I realize that we are all growing. There's things that are happening with us that we didn't even realize are happening to us. And sometimes when you sit with self long enough and you start seeing it and you come out and you say, you know what, you were right about this. And it's not so much that you were right, but I saw it for myself. It's always is one to grow on. So during the holidays, when we're sitting with our families, appreciate a big shout out to my mother. I love you, mommy. Mwah. My sister Julie, my sister Jessie, who is like, she doesn't like to come into nothing. She don't like to be part of anything. She's the shyest one of all. The PFR. And definitely, like I said, a big shout out to Bree Talks, my sister, Bree Talks, who's doing it up over on Clapper. She is doing her thing. Shout out to Bree Talks and the Alliance Network. They're doing their stuff. I will always love Bree Talks. That's my sister. I can't even say that enough. That's my sister. So big shout out to that. All right, y'all. We got to get going because we are like overdue and we love it. And don't forget, next week, we coming with Christmas clothes on or something. Throw on your reindeer ears.
That's
and
right.
Don't forget, shout out to everyone. I love y'all. Talk to y'all later.
Poesia. Poetry, Greek meaning, poesia. I create, yo creo, conveying love, at times some anger, lyrical yet magical, methods of manifestations, I love it. A way of remembering, holding on to memory, preservation is called poetry. Predating literacy in many languages, 9 elements of poetry, alliteration, assonance, consonants, figurative language, poetry. I love the imagery. Rhyme with me, feeling the rhythm, sometimes bongos, but today cover me. I'm going in with drums and violins. I'm Dr. Poetry, a dancer while I write a stanza, choosing wisely my tone, bailando el son, escuchando la clave. Each feeling the recentering rapidly to the movement of my pen as I express my thoughts through poem. What many refer to poetry, but was Latin really derived from the Romans? Negative, it's from the Phoenicians. Latin realmente no derivó de los romanos. After all, aren't we all hermanas y hermanos? Honors to all languages as we keep creating. We may all be speaking, but are we really communicating? I see you over there playing investigator all in my hair. pero yo no me ha muerto para que me estén velando. Entiendo lo que estoy falando, mi filia. Fica con calma, nene, no fica así, no fica con rabia, no. No one is shaming you for speaking different languages that connect us all. There's always truth in the lie, and I choose to rely on my frequency. But for me, it's the ability to express my thoughts in several languages. After all, the point of it all is to connect and not disconnect. Protection for the connection. Embrace my affection. In poetica di ieri, soy doctora poesía, soy la doctora poesial. Oh, ¿a qué aconteció como lengua latina? Ella es extinta. What happened to the Latin language? Is it extinct? Is it dead? Está muerto. Que un mercuriano inició de latín. ¿El donde veo? ¿De dónde vino? Phoenician derived, said the Romanos. So they added CIC to create a romantic language of French, Romanian, Spanish, and Portuguese. There's always truth in a lie, and I choose to rely on my frequency to embrace all dialects, accents that beautifully remind us of our diversified ancestry. Poesia sounds like a lot, right? I love it. Speaking Latin, Portuguese, and Spanish, but where did it come from? Phoenician. No one is shaming you for speaking different languages. Ninguém tá falando mentira, meu filho. Fica com calma, neném. Da mão não fica assim, não. There's always truth in the lie, and I choose to rely